Hello and welcome to a prenatal yoga class. Today, this class is specifically for people who have been going through their first trimester through their pregnancy, but it can be practiced by second and third trimester as well. So it's safe for all trimesters. It will be a little more on the gentle side to begin with, and then we'll get a little more heated in our standing poses as we go through the practice. So first, we're going to go through the props that we need for this class. And if you've taken classes with me before, it's pretty much the same props that we always use, right? So we use a bolster or a firm pillow. We use 2 blocks, an optional blanket if you want something to sit on, or something for your knees if you have sensitivity in the knees. I definitely suggest sitting on something when we're in any seated posture, as it can help firm up your sitting bones and help support them, but also it keeps our hips a little bit higher than the knees, and that can just feel a little bit better for the knees. And finally, for this practice, we're going to be using a strap today. So don't worry if you don't have a quote unquote yoga strap. You can always use something different. So if you have an exercise band, that's fine too. A lot of people use those stretchy exercises. Or if you have like an old towel or rag that you can stretch out, kind of make it thin, then we can use those as well. Or maybe a tie if you wear, or you or your partner wears ties. Maybe you have an old tie laying around. You can also use that as well. So we'll begin our practice in a Supta Badakanasana variation. We don't need this yet, so you can put it off to the side if you already have it. You can pause the video if you need to go get it. No worries. This is your practice, so take your time, right? Make sure you have some water with you along the way, and press pause anytime you need to. So let's begin setting up Supta Badakanasana. And it's a really supportive variation. So you can put your blanket just off to the side for now. And we're going to put 1 block on the highest height and 1 block on the lowest. And they're going to be touching, so they're really flush here. And then from here, take your bolster or your firm pillow. We're just going to make a ramp here. So maybe you've taken classes with me before, maybe you haven't. I like to call this the ramp. So just make sure that it doesn't really dip down too much. See, my bolster is not the firmest bolster. Maybe yours is firmer, and that's really good. We like a good, firm, supportive cushion here, so we don't feel like we're falling, right? We're supposed to be calming the mind, not inducing more anxieties. So it's okay for you to keep your socks on now, if you have socks on as well. From here, just face out from the bolster, and I'm kind of wearing the same color pants as this bolster, so it's a little hard to see, but I'm right against the bolster with my tailbone. And then your feet together to touch. Yeah, so this is an option. If this is too much on the pelvis, too much on the hips today, the legs can be long as well. I'm going to show you something supportive that we're going to do with the blanket. So take your blanket and make sure it's about this way folded. So you want it to be kind of wide and long here. Yeah, and then we're going to roll it up, kind of creating like a tube. Sometimes people call it like a pool noodle or a straw. And it becomes quite thick, which is really supportive. So you can use this in 2 ways. If your legs are out long, you can put this rolled up blanket underneath your knees, right, to support them as we lay back down. But if you want to bring the feet together in Badakanasana to open the hips a little bit more, I'm going to show you a little trick that we do. So I'm just going to re-roll mine because it came out. If you want to re-roll yours, go ahead. So we bring our feet together, wrap the rolled up blanket around the ankles, and then we're going to pull the end of the blanket up through our legs. Yeah, so it kind of creates this like a little bit of tension here. It kind of brings your feet closer together, but I find that it can be really relaxing. And if it's that's your experience, then you can do away with the blanket. No worries, you don't have to use it. So find what works for you, yeah? And then place your hands down on the ground or just walk ourselves back. Eventually lay flat on the bolster. If you have your hair up, you can always bring it down if it feels like it's kind of stuck there just for now before we begin movement. And maybe adjust any clothing that you need to and settle in here. You can lay the feet or the hands rather, palms facing up towards the sky. And just allowing the eyes to soften. Your gaze can kind of soften here. Maybe just gaze around the room with that soft focus. Notice where you are here in the room. Notice your surroundings. And then if it feels comfortable for you, you can close the eyes completely. And just begin to notice how you're breathing in this moment. No need to pass judgment if the breath feels short, or perhaps the breath may feel fluid and flowing. We're simply taking note of where we are today, right now, right here. Perhaps noticing if the breath feels stuck in any one place, perhaps one side of the abdomen or the rib cage, or even one lung or the other lung. And maybe notice any spaces that the breath feels free flowing. Release the back two teeth to soften the jaw. Release completely here. Begin to soften the crown of the head. Release the cheek muscles away from your bones. Unfurrow the brow if it feels furrowed. Soften that space there between the eyebrows. And soften the sides of the neck. Allow the shoulders to melt down into your bolster, your pillow. Attempting to keep up the effort of the shoulders, right? We hold our shoulders up all day long. Allow them to simply melt back behind you, releasing any effort that's still there. Soften down through the shoulders, your fingertips. Allow the hands and the fingers to be soft and open. Perhaps inviting a sense of ease into the belly and the chest as you breathe in and out. Anchor down through your hips, through your sitting bones. Invite them to get heavy, heavy. Feel the mat and the floor underneath you, holding you up and really supporting you here. Soften the muscles from your hips down through your legs, all the way to your heels. And let the heels soften and release all the way through the muscles of the feet to toes. Simply exist in your body in this moment, without passing judgment on what you're feeling. Being here for what you're feeling in this moment. Being present for yourself. Notice how it feels to hold yourself like this and to be present for the body and all that it does. When you're ready, you can bring your hands to your abdomen. Invite a sense of light touch to the abdomen. And we're going to invite a deeper breath into the belly all the way up to the heart space. So let go of the breath wherever it is here. Take an exhale. And then on the inhale, breathe in to your belly, fill it, expand it as it brings air into the abdomen. And exhale, release the belly, release the ribs, right back down to where they were. Inhale, belly rises, rib cage rises, chest rises. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly comes back to the spine. One more like that. Full breath in, belly, mid belly, upper chest. Feel your hands get higher. And exhale, let everything go. You're welcome to keep your hands where they are or bring them down on the mat once more. We're just going to take a 4-part breath here. So we're not going to retain the breath, but we are going to take inhales and exhales that are a little bit deeper. So let go of the breath where you are. And on inhale, breathe in through the nose, throat, chest, belly. Exhale, belly, chest, throat, nose. Inhale, nose, throat, chest, belly. Exhale, belly, chest, throat, nose. Deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, nose, throat, chest, belly. Exhale, belly, chest, throat, and nose. Let go of that 4 parts breath. Come back to your natural pace of breathing. We're going to slowly bring movement into the body when you're ready, moving how it feels intuitive for you. So maybe that means wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe that means circling wrists or reaching the arms up and back behind you for a moment. And then from here, we're just going to turn to your left side. So begin to close the legs first by planting the feet onto the mat. And then just turn to your left side. Notice how I'm pressing my elbow into the floor. And then come to press yourself all the way up. You can undo the roll of this blanket that we just used. And then let's fold it up so that we can sit on top of the blanket. You're all welcome to sit on your pillow, your bolster, whatever you have, or your block is also an option. Just maybe putting that blanket over the block so that it's not hard on our sitting bones, right? We want to be feeling comfortable throughout all of our poses today. And we'll just remove the bolster. And then let's place the blocks at the top of the mat on the highest height. From here, come to sit on your blankets and sit in a comfortable position. Maybe that looks like crossed legs for you. Maybe that looks like sitting on your shins. Yeah. Just taking note of what feels best in your body in this moment, right? It can change day to day, moment to moment. So even if you're sitting cross-legged, at any point, if it feels uncomfortable, you can shift and change positions. So from here, before we do anything, just have your strap close by. And from here, we're just going to inhale the arms out wide. And on the exhale, bring them over one another. So maybe your left arm is on top first. And just give yourself a little hug here. And then from here, we're going to bring the palms to touch or your palms to touch. Lift your elbows up and away from you. So I'll show you from the side with this, like you don't have to move. So I'm lifting the elbows up and pressing my pinkies away from me. Yeah. All right. From here, we're going to invite a little movement into this practice. I'm going to breathe in to tilt your tailbone back. So I'm kind of pouring my hips forward, arching my spine and lifting up. And on the exhale, I'm going to round my spine. So tuck the tailbone in, elbows come in towards my chest. Breathe in, tilt your tailbone back, pour the hips forward, lift your arms. Breathe out to round through the back. Good. Let's just do one more on this side like that. Breathe in, tilt tailbone back behind you, lift up, and exhale, round, down, and in. Okay. Come back up and unwind. So just remember our left arm was on top. Hands to our shoulders. Let's just do a little shoulder open here. So bring your elbows together in front of you and open them up. One more. Good. And then from here, reach your arms out wide, like you're going to give someone the biggest hug ever. And then we're going to cross the right arm on top this time. Yeah. So keep the right arm on top this time and give yourself a little hug here. Maybe breathe in and out through your nose or through your mouth on the exhale. And then here, once again, bring the backs of the hands to touch or your palms, whatever's best in your body. And remember, bringing the elbows up and then pressing your pinkies away. Let's add some movement in the spine. Breathe in to pour the hips forward, arch your spine, lift the elbows, and on the exhale, round through the back. Elbows come in towards your chest. Breathe in, scooping up through your arms. And exhale, rounding down and in. Just one more like inhale, lift up, tailbone reaches back. Exhale, round down. From here, come back up with your spine, stack your shoulders over your ribs, over your hips. Unwind. Bring your hands to your shoulders once again. Bring the elbows in front of you and open up. Twice more. Just allowing the shoulders to kind of open back up. Good. Then you can let it go. Maybe shake out your hands, any energy there. Maybe even kind of brushing your arms, just getting a little tactile here. Noticing where you are in your body. Okay. And then your strap or whatever you might be using as your strap today. And we just want to make sure whatever you're using is long enough for us to be able, see my hands, there we go, for us to be able to bring it out in front of us, about shoulder height, and then up towards the head and back behind us, only going about shoulder height. Okay, so I'm going to turn to the side so that you can see as well. Just making sure that whatever you have is wide enough there. Okay. All right. Let's do it. So bring your strap out, hold on tight to it. Yeah, it's about shoulder height. Inhale it up and over the head, and then exhale, bring it back behind you about shoulder height. Inhale as it comes up. Exhale as it comes forward. Breathe in, up. Breathe out as it comes back. Inhale up. Exhale down in front of you. Inhale up. Exhale back. Just twice more. Breathe in, up. Breathe out to come down. Last time. Inhale up. Exhale back behind you. Bring it up towards the head, over the head. And we're just going to do a little side bend. So stay where you are. I'm just going to switch back so you can see me from this side. So from here, our strap is above the head. We're just going to do a little side bend to the left. You don't have to go that far, right? We just want to get a nice stretch in the right side body. And then come back up, breathe in, and take a side bend to the right. Nice. Inhale up. Exhale to the left. Inhale up. Exhale to the right. Twice more. Breathe in up. Breathe out. Come down. Last one on this side. Inhale up. Exhale down. Nice. Come back up and release the strap. Set it off to the side. We won't really need it again today. No worries. From here, we're going to come onto all fours. So once again, if you want that blanket to be under your knees for support, you can kind of unroll it here. Yeah, or unfold it rather. So unfold it. Let's bring it under the knees. I think I'm gonna go without it today. Yeah, so your choice. Some days my knees feel better than other days. So option in all fours. If you have sensitive wrists, you don't have to stack your hands right under the shoulders. They can be a little bit forward of your shoulders. If this still feels a little uncomfortable, you can always bring the floor closer to you. So you can bring the hands onto blocks and you can curl your fingers, your fingertips around the front of the blocks, okay? So these are some options for you today. And that kind of gives you a little more space for belly as well if you use the blocks. Today, I'm going to forego the blocks, but please make the decision that works best in your body. And from here, we're just going to take some full cat-cows. So inhale to drop your hips, pour them down. Lift your heart, look up. Exhale, press the mat away, press the blocks away to round through your spine, chin towards chest. Inhale, lift the heart, look up. Exhale, round through the spine. Really press your shoulder blades up towards the sky. Let's do two more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round down. One more. Breathe in, lift up. Breathe out, round down. Beautiful. From here, just find a long spine. You can maybe shift your hips just from side to side. You can even take your knees a little wider than your belly if that gives you more space and feels more supportive. Just shifting the hips from side to side, almost like you're wagging a tail, right? Like a dog wagging a tail. And then from here, if your knees aren't already wide, like I just said, wider than belly, then bring them wider than belly. We're going to take some big circles with the hips. So on the inhale, circle your hips towards the left, come up towards the top of the mat, and then exhale them down towards the right and back. Breathe in to the left, up, breathe out, down and back. Going at your own pace, moving with your breath. Inhale to come up. Exhale to circle back. Let's take two more in this direction. I find that it's really nice to move slowly in some ways because you can feel where there might be stickiness in the hips, right? So where it might get stuck. or maybe you can feel where you feel really open in the hips. So the next time you're down at the hips, take them in the opposite direction, these circles. Just making full revolutions with the circles. Remembering to breathe as you come up and breathe out as you come down. Let's take about 4 more. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale and exhale. 2 more. Full breath in. Full breath out. The last deep breath in as you come up towards the top of the mat. A deep breath out. And come back to all fours. You can bring your knees a little bit closer together if that feels good. And then from here, we're going to bring the legs together, bring your knees together so they're touching, and tuck your toes and begin to walk your hands back. So we're just going to open the feet a little bit. It can feel nice, especially if you have any swollenness around the feet or the ankles, right? We're just opening that area. So maybe even moving the pinky toes, the little toes, so that we're getting space in the toes too. And then we're just going to breathe. So take a deep breath in through the nose, long spine, deep breath out. Inhale, exhale, full breath in, full breath out. You can rub your thighs if this is a little intense for your feet. We'll just take 2 more breaths here. Inhale, exhale, last breath in, and breath out. Good. Come back down, bring the hands down to the mat. You can separate the feet, untuck the toes, and just kind of tap them on the floor backwards. Okay. And from here, we're just going to bring our hands to the block. Excuse me. Bring your hands to the highest height of the block, and then step right foot forward. And make it really wide here so that you have space. And from here, we're just going to press through the feet and then bring the hands to the tops of your right thigh. So we're kind of in this kneeling lunge position. And from here, make sure the knee is stacked right over your ankle. Inhale, arms sweep up high. Exhale here to stay. Notice if your ribs are kind of flying away and draw them back. Breathe in. Focus stays on one point that's not moving. Breathe out. Take another inhale. Reach up a little higher. And then exhale the hands down. Bring one hand to your pubic bone and one hand to your tailbone. So one hand to your belly, that's 2, and then one hand to your sacrum. And from here, we're going to draw the belly up as the tailbone draws down, just to protect the low back. So belly up, sacrum down. Good. And from here, you can bring the right hand to the right hip. Inhale, left arm rises high into the sky. And exhale, just kind of bend to your right side. Breathe in and breathe out in a side bend. Keep looking at one point that's not moving. Try not to look at the screen as much as you can so you can keep your balance. Keep pressing through the feet. Take another inhale. And then on the exhale, we're going to sweep that left hand down to the block and then the right hand to the block. From here, breathe in to elongate your spine. And on the exhale, straighten through your front leg as you shift your hips back, yeah? And you can walk the blocks back towards your hips. You can keep your fingertips on the block so you have a lot of space here for belly. And then flex your right toes up towards your nose. Breathe in, find this long spine. And on the exhale, you can either stay here or begin to fold forward to your capacity. So finding what works for you here. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale here to stay. One more deep breath in. And exhale. All right, inhale, come back up. Rebend the front knee, walk your blocks back towards the top of the mat. And then you can step your right knee back. From here, we're going to step the left foot forward. And then from here, press down through the left foot and stack the hands on top of your left thigh to rise up. Find this low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Once you're steady, inhale, sweep the big of the ears. Full breath in. Lift up through your side body. Full breath out. Feel the space that you might be creating in each rib, those muscles between the ribs. Breathe in and breathe out. One more deep breath in. Keep it lifting. And exhale. Once again, one hand to your low belly, one hand to the low back. Draw low back up, or low belly up and low back down. Yeah, so belly comes up, back comes down to protect the low back. And then from here, you can bring the right hand or the left hand to the left hip, and reach the right arm up towards the sky. Breathe in, keep reaching, and breathe. Bend towards the left side for a side bend. Keep gazing at one place, still and not moving. Inhale, exhale. Take one more final breath in. And on the exhale, swim that hand down to the right block, left hand to the left block. We're going to shift our hips back, straighten through the front leg, walk those blocks back. Yeah, and stay on your fingertips. Really spread the toes, allow them to come towards your face. Elongate from the tailbone to the crown of your head. Inhale. Exhale, fold the heart forward, or perhaps stay where you are. Breathe in once you found your capacity, your limit, your edge, and breathe out. 2 more breaths. Inhale and exhale. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale to rise up to the spine. Exhale to rebend your front knee. Walk those blocks towards the mat. And then from here, bring that left knee back behind you. From here, bring the hands down to the mat and tuck your toes. Find your tabletop, right? So if you want your hands a little bit forward of your shoulders, that's perfect. And then tuck the toes, lift your hips up and back, find downward facing dog. Breathe in and out. Maybe pedal through one foot, the left foot, and then the other. Take your time. You're noticing the sensations in the calf muscles. Allow space to be created in the armpits by pressing through the hands, lifting up out of the armpits. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. And then from here, bring your feet as wide as the mat. Option to take hold of your block. Yeah, so you have a little more space. And then you can begin to walk the feet slowly along the edges of your mat. Take your time and find your forward fold. You can bend your knees as much as you need to. If you're feeling perhaps a little nauseous or dizzy and forward folds don't feel good for you, then I encourage you to put your blocks on the highest height and simply take a flat back here. And just bend into one knee and the other. Take your time here. And then toe heel your feet a little bit closer to their hip distance or a little bit wider if that feels best for your hips. Bend your knees, hands to the tops of your thighs to rise up all the way. Arms can sweep up, circle up, hands at prayer, and exhale, hands through heart center. From here, we'll get into some more heated standing poses as we've been moving a little bit slowly to warm up. So we'll just do a few heated standing poses, and then we'll cool ourselves down for a nice long Shavasana day and cool down as well. So from here, we're just going to bring the feet into Tadasana and lift your toes up off the ground. Spread them super wide, as wide as you can, which might be difficult, right? Because we put our feet into shoes all the time and our toes like to be together, but let's encourage them to open up, right? Spread those toes, and then one after the other, bring them back down to your mat. Maybe shift your weight forward, shift your weight back, and shift it to one side and then the other. And just notice how our body feels in these different positions. And then come through center. Imagine that there's a line from the top of your head and it's running through the middle of your body. And it's going right through something called your perineum in the pelvic floor space. And this is between the vaginal canal and the anus. So it's in the middle and it runs straight down into the floor. So imagine you're just like plugging right into your center, your midline. So we're really finding our posture here, our stance. And then from here, inhale, arms sweep up high into the sky. And exhale to fold forward. You can bring your hands to your thighs, that was good, and then hands to the blocks. Let's keep the right foot forward and extend the left foot back behind you. Good. From here, come onto your fingertips. We're just going to get into the back sides of our legs, the posterior chain of muscle today. So breathe in, shine your heart forward, collarbones reach forward, keep the bend in the front knee. And as you breathe out, straighten through the front leg and fold. Inhale to rebend your front knee, look forward, collarbones reach forward. Exhale to straighten through the front leg, lift the back heel. Breathe in, press the knee forward, look forward, heart opens. Exhale, straighten through the leg and fold. One more, breathe in, bend the knee, look forward. Breathe out as you straighten and fold. From here, rebend the front knee, inhale, and then grab your blocks and exhale as we turn towards the left side of the mat so that your feet are parallel with the short edges of the mat. And your hands can be on your blocks, right underneath your shoulders, yeah? From here, press down through the right hand. Inhale, left arm rises high for open twist. Exhale as it comes down. Press through that left hand. Inhale, right arm rises. Exhale as it comes down. Press through the right hand. Inhale, left arm lifts. Exhale, sweep it back down. Twice more. Inhale, right arm rises. Exhale as it comes down. Press through the right hand. Inhale, left arm lift. And exhale, sweep it back down. You can keep the blocks right there and really press through your feet. Begin to bend through your knees slightly and inhale, hands to your hip. From here, come all the way up with a straight. Good. From here, turn your heels in, toes will turn out. Yeah. And we're going to do a little dynamic goddess pose with a lion's breath. So it will like this. I'm going to breathe in, my arms will sweep up. And on the exhale, bend the knees straight down. Let's do that again together. The palm's going to go straight out. And on the exhale, we're really intensely like a lion. So inhale, arms sweep up high. Exhale. Breathe in, arms sweep up. Exhale. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale. One more, breathe in. Exhale. So nice. Hands to your hips, straighten through the legs. Breathe in, arms feet up high again. And then turn your back toes in and turn your toes, your front toes towards the top of your mat. From here, bend through that front knee. If you need to widen the stance, you can do so. We're in a warrior two here. Make sure you've got heel to arch alignment and look forward over your right fingertips. Breathe here. Make space through the chest and the arms and breathe out. Draw the belly up and the low back down. Notice if your tendency is to shift forward or shift back, and can you find your shoulders right above your hips? From here, we're going to move dynamically. Flip your both palms. Inhale, straighten through the leg, lift. Exhale, rebend the knee. Breathe in, straighten, lift. Breathe out, bend the knee. Twice more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. One time, breathe in and breathe out. From here, inhale, straighten through your front leg and reach forward, forward, forward. And then take your hand, your right hand to your leg, or grab one of those blocks on the outside. I suggest that, especially if belly is growing a lot right now, it gives you a little more space. So left hand is on the hip, or you can reach it up, straight up, stack your shoulders. Breathe in and breathe out. Gaze can be down at your toes or up towards your thumb. Full breath in, keep reaching. Full breath out to stay. Press your hips forward, heart back. Keep engaging the quad of your right leg up towards the hip. One more deep breath in and deep breath out. Rebend the front knee and flip up and back. Reverse the arms up and back, rather. Just here for a moment. Deep breath in to reach as far as you can. And on the exhale, come forward. Bring the right forearm on top of your thigh and reach that right arm, or the left arm rather, up towards the sky, or bring it over your ear. Find what works for you. Keep pressing through the outer edge of that back foot. Inhale, open the heart. Maybe look up. Exhale to stay. Press down through the feet. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. 3 more. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extend it. Breathe in, up and back. Breathe up and down for 2. Last one. Deep breath in to come up. And deep breath out to come down and back. Good. Now inhale to reverse up. And exhale, bring the left hand down to your left block, or the right hand down to your right block, excuse me. And take your hand on the other block. Square your hips, come onto the ball of the back foot, and then step forward, bending into one knee and the other. And we'll take it all on the other side. When you're ready, keep the left foot forward and step the right foot back. From here, keep the bend in the front knee and inhale, open your heart, look forward. Exhale, straighten through both legs, lift that back glute and fold. Inhale to rebend the front knee, look forward. Exhale, lift the heel and fold. 2 more. Inhale, rebend, look forward. Exhale, lifting, squeezing, engaging the inner thighs. 1 more. Inhale, rebend, look forward. Exhale, straighten and fold. From here, inhale, rebend, look forward. And exhale to take hold of your blocks and turn towards the right side of your. Now, I'm going to turn. You stay where you are, the right side of your mat. I'm just going to turn so that you can see me properly. From here, bring the blocks underneath your shoulders. Press down through your left arm, your left hand. Inhale, right arm rises high. Exhale, sweep it back down. Breathe in, left arm rises. Exhale, sweep it down. Inhale, right arm rises. Exhale, sweep it down. Inhale, left arm rises. Exhale, sweep it down. Twice more. Inhale, right arm. Exhale, bring it down. Last one. Inhale, left arm. And exhale, sweep it down. From here, make sure you have a firm stance in your feet. So if you need to walk them closer together, you can. Press through your feet. Inhale, hands either to your thighs or your hips to come all the way up. Good. And from here, we're going to turn our heels in, toes up. And we are going to do those goddess lion breaths again. Press down through your feet. Inhale, arms sweep up high. And on the exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale. Breathe in, arms rise. Breathe out. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale, arms sweep up. And exhale here. Turn your back foot in, that left foot, and turn your toes forward up the front leg. Bend the front knee. Arms come out wide. Take a warrior two. And this should be your left foot forward this time, with any confusion. Make sure you've got that heel to arch alignment. Spread through your collarbones. Draw the belly up, back down. From here, inhale, straighten through the leg, arms lift. Exhale, rebend and come down. Breathe in, arms lift. Breathe out to come down. Inhale. Exhale, just one more. Breathe in, rise. Breathe out to come down. And from here, inhale, straighten through the front leg. Shift your back hip back behind you. Forward, either onto your shin. Highly suggest the block on the highest height. Reach that right arm up towards the sky. Gaze can look up or down. Breathe in and breathe out. Full breath in, press the hips forward. Full breath out as your heart reaches back. Imagine that your head and your pelvis are in one long line together. Good. Stack those shoulders. One more deep breath in. And exhale. Rebend your front knee. Reverse the arms up and back on the inhale. And exhale, come forward. Left forearm on top of the thigh. Bring the arm straight up, the right arm, or over your ear. Good. Keep pressing through your elbow or your forearm to lift you up. Inhale and exhale. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Let's move dynamically. Ready? On the inhale, lift up and back. Exhale, come forward. 3 more. Breathe in, up and back. Exhale to come forward. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, come down. Last one. Inhale, up and back. Exhale to come down. This time, inhale, reverse up and back. And exhale, swim the hands down. Find one block and then find the other. Bring them parallel to one another. Square your hips, come into the ball of your back foot, and just step forward. You can bend into one knee, bend into the other knee. Take your head yes, take it no if you need to, or keep that flat back if you feel any sort of dizziness. And from here, bend through the knees, bring the hands to the tops of the thighs and rise up all the way to Tadasana. So we've got through our standing poses. And today we're going to go straight to our cool downs. We're not going to do any squats or wall sits. If that is in your practice and you really enjoy it, you can do one of my other videos, or if you've done with me before, you can do them on your own, right? So we're going to do instead Malasana Yogi squat. So sometimes I like to have a blanket underneath my heels. So I'll show you from the side what that looks like. See how I've folded the front edge of the blanket? So it's kind of rounded, right? Bring your feet as wide as the blanket. Yeah. And toes will point out. And my arch is not really on the blanket. I want my heel to be more on the blanket here. Yeah. So turn your toes out. And you're welcome to keep a block, behind you to sit on. So I'm going to put one back there. If I don't reach it, I'm going to kind of adjust it. It's a suggestion, you don't have to do it. So let's inhale, stand up nice and tall. Then exhale, bend through the knees, come all the way down. Maybe bring that block underneath your sitting bones. So you're sitting up in this kind of squat, this Malasana. So this is what it looks like from the side, right? If you can see my legs are kind of facing out, and I'll show you what it looks like. You stay where you are. I'll show you what it looks like from the front if there's any question about that. Okay, so here we are. You can bring the elbows on the insides of your knees. If that feels good for you. You can let the arms hang out here. Maybe invite a mudra into the hands, maybe folding in the index finger and the thumb. And breathe in and breathe out. Connect back to your breath. To help you do that, you can close the eyes. Breathe in and out. Let's invite that 4 hearts breath. Inhale through the nose, throat, chest, belly. Exhale, belly, chest, throat, nose. Inhale, nose, throat, chest, belly. Exhale, belly, chest, throat, nose. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then from here, you can let the mudra go, the other mudra, and let's bring the hands down. Maybe grab your other block on the highest height and lift the hips. Bend into one knee, bend into the other. And let that go in the hips. And then from here, just if you are facing me, come back to the top of your mat and bring one knee down and then the other. All right, we're going to set up for a supported pigeon pose. So we're going to be here for a few moments. So let's get our bolster or our pillow. Yeah, if you can get it. Set it up about halfway on your mat. Yeah, about halfway here. Or a little bit higher than halfway on your mat. And then from here, we're going to place our blocks towards the top of the mat and bring your knees onto your cushion or bolster. So it's like you're in this tabletop, but you've got support underneath the knees and the hands. And then from here, bring your right leg forward of the pillow. And it's kind of hard to see because once again, it's the same color pants as the bolster. Put your shin, your calf forward of the pillow. So it's like hugging and flush to the pillow. And then tuck your back toes and walk the leg back. So I am in supported pigeon. Then once you've walked that leg back as far as you can, just peek over your right shoulder. Maybe notice if your ankle and knee are in one line. So we want all the joints to be aligned. And then soften the foot down towards the ground. You're welcome to stay here. Breathe in and breathe out. Or if you want to come forward, you can begin to walk your blocks forward. Yeah. And you can come all the way down, or you can bring your hands or your forearms on top of blocks. There are different variations here. You can stack the blocks so that your forehead has a little cushion on the edge of the block. And just remain here, maybe rocking the forehead from side to side. We're going to be here for about 5 breaths. You can count that at your own pace. Know that you can always come out of it when you're ready, right? If something doesn't feel right, you can always shift your weight into the right hip and then swing that left leg forward. Otherwise, remain here for 5 breaths. And once you're ready, take your time. If you still want to hang out here, that's perfectly fine. But if you're ready to come out, you can press through your hands to come up. Maybe take the blocks on the highest height again and just shift your weight into that right hip. Bring the left forward, right leg out. And you can flop open and shut with the legs. You can flop up and down. And then we'll just take it on the other side. So blocks on the highest height, come to your knees onto the bolster. And then bring the left shin and calf muscle in front of the bolster, hugging it flush. And then tuck your right toes, walk the leg back behind you. Yeah. And soften the foot onto the earth. Breathe in here, long through your spine. And as you breathe out, maybe you fold forward. Maybe you try a different block height this time. Just experimenting with the body and how it feels in different poses, but making the pose ultimately work for your body in this moment, right? Our bodies are always shifting and changing. And right, during this journey, they're very much shifting and changing. So every moment can feel new in our yoga practice, which is actually quite beautiful. We can always begin again. There's always a new discovery about ourselves that we can make. So take your 5 breaths on this side and just notice your left hip versus the right. You're welcome to stay here longer, or you can come onto your hands, lift yourself up slowly, shift your weight onto that left hip and bring the right foot and leg forward. And then lengthen out both legs, flop open and shut, go up and down with the knees. And then we're going to set up for Shavasana. So a few options here. You can set up the same way that we set up in the beginning with our Supta Badakanasana supported. So one block on the highest height, the on the lowest, right? And they're flush. So that means they're right next to each other, not going anywhere, hopefully. And then we've got the bolster, right? Let's put it on top, make yourself a little ramp, and option to use the blanket. This is an option for you. Another option for your Shavasana, if that's kind of not very comfortable with hips, or you just want to try something new, no worries. You can do sideline pose. So take your blocks, take them on this kind of medium height. Yeah, put them like that. And then place the bolster on top of those blocks. And then come onto your left side. And you're welcome to take the blanket and kind of make a little pillow with the blanket. And then come all the way onto your left side and bring the leg on top of your cushion, your bolster. Yeah. And that bottom left leg can be bent or straight, whatever feels best for you. And just begin to soften if you've chosen the Supta Badakanasana, that supported butterfly, or this variation of a side pose. Just begin to allow the earth to support you. Feel the weight of the body
melt down into the mat. Soften the gaze or close your eyes. And focus your gaze inward. You have nowhere to go, nowhere else to be. You're exactly where you need to be in this very moment. Soften the crown of the head. Unfurrow your eyebrows. Release the back two teeth. Allow the lips to separate. Soften down through your shoulders, through the side body. Notice your heart beating, perhaps. The air filling the abdomen and emptying out. Allow the hips to get heavy. Soften the muscles from the hips to the toes. We'll just be here for about 2 to 3 minutes. Just allowing the body to soften. Slowly deepen your current breath through the body. If you'd rather stay here longer, turn this video off. Stay here as long as you need. Otherwise, invite some small movements into the body. Maybe stretching arms up over the head. If you're in Supta Badakanasana, bring the feet onto the floor. And then turn to your left side and use your forearm, your elbow to press off up. If you're in side lying like me, you can simply begin to press through your hands all the way up. You can sit on something to close our practice, maybe the bolster, maybe a blanket. And keep your gaze flat if you can, or eyes closed. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Let it go out your mouth. Bring one hand onto the heart and then the other. Just feel the beat of your own heart. And send yourself loving kindness, compassion. for all that you do for yourself and for others. It's an honor to serve you. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. I hope to share it again